Hi, folks. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend time with me. I am so excited to be here with you. I know the value of your time, and I'm excited to share with you a success strategy that I believe will change the way you trade or invest, and certainly change the way you think of the moon. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and welcome to Celestial Charting, a study in probability. Last night, while preparing for our time together, my good friend Larry Pesavento called me and asked if I would be good enough to put together an article on celestial charting for a real popular business magazine in China, and of course I told him I would be happy to. He also asked me, why was I doing this webinar without charging for it? Mostly out of concern that it would totally diminish the value that you folks listening in, might place on the information that I'm going to share. You see, Larry is one of my teachers. He's one of my mentors, one of my coaches, just as Tom O'Brien is. In fact, I'm here today because I've surrounded myself with incredible coaches. Tony Robbins happens to be another one of my coaches. But what was so cool about last night is that I became the teacher for Larry. You see, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. By the way, it's the reason I believe that each of us are together right here, right now. You see, the lesson that I was able to teach Larry last night was, in fact, something that he taught me. The lesson is this, and it's an ancient Chinese proverb. If you learn something and keep it to yourself, it is worthless. Therefore, and I want you to think about this, folks, that means just the opposite is true. If you learn something and share it, it must have incredible value. That, my friend, is what our time together is all about. It's about creating incredible value, and we can do it together for each other, folks. There are several lessons within our Chinese proverb. One lesson is that within each assumption, there are two conclusions. And what I mean specifically, as it relates to our topic of celestial charting, is that if we have an expectation that the market should change direction as a result of a lunar event, like a full moon, a new moon, a solar eclipse, or a lunar eclipse, and in fact the market does not turn, then just the opposite is true. And what I mean is that the direction of the market prior to the lunar event occurring is strong and has a high degree of probability that it should continue. Folks, I don't know how long you've been investing or trading, but this subtle piece of information has immeasurable value. It could literally change your financial future. And I urge you to do everything in your power to get your head wrapped around it. Test it on your own or hire someone like me to do the work for you. My mission during our time together is to create incredible value for you. And that's really what I hope is just the beginning of our journey together. I know that I can be your triptych, and for those of you folks that are AAA, can remember AAA, I think I can be your roadmap to financial freedom. Now, I've got a great toolbox, folks, and I'm eager to be one of your coaches because who wants to learn something and keep it to themselves? Not me. You may have guessed by now, but if not, it's something I want you to know. It's something really, really important to me. It's my passion in life. You see, my passion in life is to empower others. And what I mean by this is I want you to be able to visualize your potential, because that's where real empowerment starts. It starts by understanding your potential. And what I know about each of us is this. We each have more potential than we give ourselves credit for. Others around us always see more potential in us than we see in ourselves. I can't accomplish it all in one webinar, but I would like to develop a relationship with you, have a conversation with you, and empower you to reach heights you never thought possible. Folks, recognizing your potential is step one in the ultimate success formula, and that's really what it is we're talking about here tonight. It's a trading system, but it's an ultimate success formula. Write that down. Recognizing your potential is step one in the ultimate success formula. Now, I'd like to make a difference in your life, and I'd like you to make a difference in my life. And so here's the first contribution that I'd like you to make in exchange for the value that I offer you tonight. Help me empower others. Learn from our first lesson. Learn something and share it. Tell your friends and family about me, about TFNN, and about what you're going to learn here now. Remember, I want you to empower others. I want to empower others, not just the 300 or so of you that are listening in right now, but millions of others. Therefore, please make a commitment to me. Please make a commitment to get at least 2 people that you care about. Have them tune in to TFNN, have them listen to me, have them listen to my Trader's Ed show, and what I want you to do is I want you to commit to doing this in exchange for the value that you receive in attending this webinar. Look, folks, I really appreciate your commitment because I really want to empower others. I want to help you, and I, with your help, can reach many, many more, maybe millions. So let's talk about success, because success is a trading strategy, and success in trading is knowing how much to invest and when to enter the trade. Now, success means many different things to many people. What does success mean to you? I like to believe that success is in the eye of the beholder. Let me give you a couple of examples. Think back. Maybe you've got grandchildren. Maybe you've got kids. At age 4, success is not peeing in your pants. At age 12, success, well, it's having friends. At age 16, that's right, you know it, success is having your driver's license. How about age 20? Can you guess that? At age 20, success is having sex. At age 35, folks, success is having money. At age 50, that's right, success is having a lot of money. At age 60, success, folks, that's having sex. At age 70, success is having a driver's license. At age 75, success is having friends. And at age 80, success, well, it's not peeing in your pants. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been in a few trades over the course of my career that I wish I had only peed in my pants. Maybe some of you can relate, and those that can't, good for you. Now, in a few moments, I'll share with you a system that will not only keep your pants clean, it'll increase your probability of attaining financial freedom in your lifetime. Now, I can't tell you what to dream about. I can't tell you what your dreams are. I can't tell you what level of success you should have or what level of success you currently desire. But what I can tell you is that the most important aspect of success in trading, other than psychology, is how much to invest in any given position and the timing of when to enter that trade. Please write that down, folks. Tape it somewhere on a monitor where you make your trades. Success in trading is knowing how much to invest and when to enter the trade. It's all probability management. Success, folks, let me share with you right now the secret to money management. If you only take away one thing from this webinar, may it please be this. This formula can impact your trading and investing more than anything else that I know. This is how you protect your nest egg. This is how you make your nest egg grow. Like success, though, money management means many different things to many people. No, I don't have another story here for you. But for our conversation, money management defines your position size. And your position size is how many shares you're going to buy or sell given the size of your trading account and the percentage risk that you're going to take. This is a straightforward calculation and is one of the first things you do before entering any trade or investment. Now, the formula to calculate position size is as follows. You take your total risk you're allocating to the trade. And let's assume that maybe your total risk ends up being $1,000. Maybe it's 1% of your trading capital. That's your total risk. Now, you're going to divide that by your unit risk per share. That's called your stop loss. So let's say in our example, you've got a $30 stock you're going to buy, and you commit to yourself. You put in a hard stop, and you say, that stock gets a 28, a $2 stop, you're going to be out of the trade. You would take your risk, your $1,000, divide it by that $2 unit stop loss. That would tell you you need to buy 500 shares of that stock. You would take that 500 shares, it's selling for $30 a share where you enter. That means you need $15,000 in trading capital to make that trade. Now, as I mentioned earlier, and I want to really thank you, we've had an incredible response to this webinar. and I personally want to express my gratitude for your support. It's really exciting. It was really exciting to watch the numbers tick up. And at the end of the presentation, I'll take as many of your questions that time permits. We've got over 300 people here attending this webinar. If each person asked one question, we would be here for a long time. So if I don't get to your question, for whatever reason, just send me an email at steve@tfnn.com, and I'll respond as soon as I humanly possibly can. Now, give me a moment just to better introduce myself, as I know we've got many, many first-time listeners. What I want you to know is Tom O'Brien and I are partners at Tiger Metal Exchange, which is it's a precious metal company focused on buying and selling gold and silver coins and bullion to you. We have a service business where we convert your jewelry to cash, and we pay 80% of the spot price. Probably you've heard our commercials. I'm also the host of the Trader's Edge radio program that airs on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 1 p.m. here on the TFNN radio network. Now, the mission of my radio show is to teach you the tools that help you overcome the hurdles that you face in your trading or in your life, because when you learn how to overcome your hurdles, you begin to enjoy life's gifts each and every day. And when you learn how to enjoy life's gifts, folks, you'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. Now, I'm also a neuro-linguistic programming modeler, NLP for short. And as an NLP modeler, I observe people who excel in something. I identify their beliefs, their mental strategies, the mental states that they use to perform their task. This is what I call identifying their science of achievement. You all know what this is. It's making the invisible visible. It's taking what you dream about and making it happen. Whether it be your business, your trading, your contribution to society, things along those lines. It's finding a success formula and doing it over and over again to get the same result. You see, once you master the science of achievement, the only change you make to it along the way is to up the ante or change the stakes, because you already know how to create the results. Model what you learn here tonight, folks, and your journey to financial freedom will begin to manifest itself into your life much faster than you ever imagined. Financial freedom means adopting a different set of money rules to win the game of money. If you follow these money rules, if you commit yourself to this goal, and you learn from your mistakes, you will manifest financial freedom into your life. Financial freedom means that your money that you put to work for you, your investment capital, makes more money for you than you need to meet your monthly expenses. How would that sound, folks? Well, welcome to your potential. It's all about the science of achievement. And what I know is that you've got an amazing power within yourself, and together we can create magnificent lives together. Now, our journey continues by adopting a different set of money rules that will cause you to think outside of the box. Oftentimes, the answers are sitting right in front of us. We just need a coach to help us see this more clearly. That's what celestial charting is all about. It's about making the invisible visible. It's about seeing what is sitting right in front of us and taking action. And folks, when I say taking action, I mean massive action. Taking massive action is step 2 in the ultimate success formula. Write that one down. Taking massive action is step 2 in the ultimate success formula. What massive action, right now, what massive action could you take to achieve your potential? Something to think about, and you should. Folks, one of life's gifts, without questions, are the phases of the moon. That's why we're here tonight. Something that, folks, we see most evenings, and even if we don't see them, we definitely feel them, whether or not we know it. And most importantly, the markets we trade react to them. Now, 2 phases of the moon that have proven to be turning points or information release points are the full moon and the new moon. Now, I want you to write these words down. I want you to write down the word turning points or information release points. You see, the moon revolves around the earth every 28 days. The cycle goes like this. The moon moves from a new moon to the first quarter moon to a full moon to the third quarter moon when it returns back to a new moon. This is the 28-day cycle. Now, there are two other events that I've identified on our S&P lunar chart. They're the lunar and solar eclipse. You see, lunar and solar eclipses usually receive media coverage, but only due to the visual nature of the experience, not because of the financial opportunities they present. And as traders, eclipses present special opportunities. If you look at our S&P 500 chart, you will see that June 1st was a solar eclipse new moon combination, and June 15th was a lunar eclipse full moon combination. And 9 days from now, folks, 9 days from now, July 1st, will be another solar eclipse new moon combination. That's right, a back-to-back-to-back set of eclipses. Now, since 1900, there have only been 36 of these back-to-back-to-back eclipses. July 1st, that'll make number 37. Now, our current sequence of solar events that we're in, they line up exactly with the solar, lunar, solar, the new, full, new combination that occurred beginning May 30th, 1946, and that completed on June 29th, 1946. The markets in 46 absolutely reacted each time a solar, lunar, solar, a new, full, new combination came into play, just like ours have so far. The timing, folks, has been spectacular. It's to the day. I'm talking some 65 years ago, as well as today. In my opinion, this information is powerful and, best of all, easy to understand. You see, you don't need to be a technical trader to understand this phenomena. You don't need to understand that A to B equals C to D, or that the numbers 0.618, 0.786, 1.272, 1.618, that these are sacred geometry numbers from the Fibonacci series that measure the natural harmonic price objectives in the markets that we trade. You don't need to know that. You simply need to know the dates for each new full moon, each new moon, each solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. And then all you've got to do is have a chart of the S&P 500 to identify what action, if any, you should take. Now, just in case you're the curious type, as am I, the market high in 1946, well, that wasn't seen again until April 1950, some 4 years later. Now, the question that I'm most often asked is, why do lunar phases impact markets? The honest answer is, I don't know why lunar phases impact the markets, and any answer I provide would simply be my theory. So what's my theory? Well, you know, when you live on or near the Gulf or the ocean, you experience the power of the moons, the lunar phases, and when it comes to tides. So just imagine the power that it must take to move an ocean. But you see, I don't know. You don't know. None of us really need to know why lunar phases work. We just need to know that they impact market action and that they have a high probability of releasing information that can help us make money on a consistent basis. That's what it's all about. I know that's one of the reasons that you tuned in. So let's continue our review of the lunar strategy chart. Now, July 7, 2010, the Royal Bank of Scotland, the 55th largest company in the world, was good enough to release and publish a study on the phenomena of buying on the new moon and selling on the full moon. Now, the RBS study compared two strategies using the S&P 500 index as its benchmark. One strategy was a buy and hold strategy. The other involved buying the S&P on the new moon and selling the S&P on the full moon. RBS started with $1,000 in 1928, and by the end of 2009, the buy and hold strategy was worth a little over $63,000, whereas the buy on the new, sell on the full moon strategy had accumulated a value of over $1.5 million, about a 9.5% compounded annualized rate. How would you like to have a 9.5% annualized rate in today's market environment? What massive action are you willing to take to get a 9.5% return? How about a 20% return? What about a 30% return on your working capital? What type of massive action are you willing to take? What type of investment are you willing to make in yourself to get these types of returns? As you can see from the S&P 500 chart on your screen, the move up from August 24, 2010 timeframe has been huge and historic. However, if you had used the RBS buy on the new, sell on the full moon strategy, you would have only had about a 30% win-loss rate. Now, one of the anomalies of cycle work, and folks, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about cycles. We're talking about lunar cycles, is that in a bear market, you flip the strategy, meaning you would instead sell on the new moon and buy on the full moon, the complete opposite of the RBS study. Now, by flipping the strategy, that's right, you guessed it, you end up with a 70% win rate, which, by the way, this 70% win rate, this can be improved too. But maybe you're one of the people asking that question. Steve, how do you know if we're in a bear market? Well, the real answer is that you don't necessarily have to know. Remember, the importance of these new moon, full moon dates are that they either act as a reversal area or a continuation of the move before the event. You know, earlier I asked you to write down these words: turning points or information release points. If you didn't write that down, write it down now. So let's continue with this S&P lunar chart by working from our current time frame, our current date, backward. Now, let's talk about our current cycle, because the current cycle that we're in began June 15th, last Wednesday. Now, with it being a full moon lunar eclipse combination and having flipped my trading tactics to buying the full moon and selling the new moon, I was looking for the market to make a low. In fact, the market came back in a big way on June the 15th, taking back all of the gains that it had made the day before. This was an ideal cycle pattern because our objective in buying something is always to buy it at a lower price. Just think of the markets as being our local Walmart, and we're looking for cost-cutter deals. Now, if the cycle continues to work, folks, we should see the market close higher than the low that we experienced on June 15th. Where it will go is a matter of interpretation, and I suspect it will get up towards the 1311, 1345 area, but we have 7 more trading days to let the market tell us what it wants to do. At the moment, Friday, July 1st is where we will sell the market. Now let's take a look at June 1st, the new moon solar eclipse combination. What we can see is that the market moved up as it was coming into that June 1st date. Exactly what we wanted to see since we were sellers of the market. You see, our goal is to sell at or near the highs and buy at or near the lows. We're not looking for the top tick and the bottom tick, just in the general area. And let's look at May 17th, a full moon date. Notice how the market moved down into that date from that May 3rd high. Again, our Walmart cost cutter guy was busy helping us out. Exactly what, as traders, we wanted to see. I mentioned May 3rd. Notice how the market moved up into that date, making a high on May 2nd. Also exactly what we wanted to see, the market moving up into an area where we would be selling. Now notice that the market moved down into April 18th. That's our Walmart guy busy again, probably working overtime for us. Now notice April 3rd as the market was moving up into our sell date, a new moon. How about March 19th? Now March 19th was special. March 19th was special because that was a super full moon. And that's also known as the moon being at perigee, or closest to us. Now, what you'll notice here is that the low of the market was made 2 trading days earlier, March 16th. And when you're trading these patterns, you have to be aware that there's a 2-day trading orbit, and that helps you to understand those turning points or those information release points as far as when they're going to take effect. Now, that being said, notice how the market was moving down into the full moon from the high it made on March the 4th. Our Walmart guy again, busy at work, but not yet ready for a vacation. Now, the March 4th date is a really good date to take a look at from an interpretation standpoint. You see, it worked in this strategy in that the market moved up into that date, and moved up into that date whether we're looking at the February 24th or the March 2nd day. those swing points, and therefore it worked as you would have expected in the pattern that we're using, the pattern that we're trading here. So that takes us to February 18th, a full moon that you would ordinarily be buying. But as you can see, our Walmart guy was nowhere to be found, and with the price not coming down to us, but instead moving up, we would have not put in a buy order here. We buy when things are coming down to us. We sell when things are going up. In this situation here, we would have waited till the following day, that information release point. Always remember that in this strategy, we buy as the market is coming down into us, and we sell when the market is moving up higher. If it's opposite, we wait for a day or two to give us some information. That's that information release points. This is how, folks, we match price with time. Time being the new moon, the full moon cycle pattern that we're talking about. This is how we match price and time without having any technical trading knowledge whatsoever. You need market knowledge. I mean, it's helpful, but you don't need technical knowledge, although it's a huge plus. It's just not a requirement. Now let's talk about step 3 in the ultimate success formula. Step 3 in the ultimate success formula is results, or what I call the science of achievement. Now, during the early part of our conversation, I defined the science of achievement as finding a success formula and doing it over and over again to get the same result. Model this trading system, and your journey to financial freedom will begin to manifest itself into your life much faster than you ever imagined. Let me ask you a question. How valuable would a trading system like this be to you? Are you trying to make a consistent profit in this marketplace? 10%? 20%? 30%? What would that mean to you? How would that make you feel? What investment would you be willing to make in yourself to make that happen? Remember, folks, we said, if you learn something and share it, it must have incredible value. What value is in your mind right now? What's the vision of success that you have for yourself? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What massive action could you take right now to take your game to the next level? Etch this thought into your mind. If you want to live at a higher level, then learn to leverage time by surrounding yourself with successful coaches. That's what I've done, because an outstanding coach will get you from 0 to 60 faster than a Bugatti. And folks, that's one of the fastest cars on the road. Now, coaching is about conditioning yourself, and it's about changing the way your mind thinks. Coaching is about getting the tools that make an immeasurable difference. I've only been able to share with you some of the tools, and folks, there's much, much more. More tools that will transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. But coaching, it's not your only option. It's just an option that gets you to where you want to go so much faster. If coaching turns you off, then begin by buying books. There's probably about 30 or so that you'll need to read, then reread, and then probably read another dozen times or so. Then there's at least several sets of audio tapes that I can recommend and others can recommend to help you to understand your mind and the reasons why you do what you do. And then there's the seminars that you're going to need to attend. And of course, folks, there's probably about 5,000 hours of practice or so, and then you'll be well on your way to acquiring the tools that I'm referring to. Let's talk about step 4 in our ultimate success formula. Step 4, folks, is belief. Now, I shared the lunar trading strategies with our listeners on May 31st, and with a total risk of $1,000 on each trade. So that's 2 trades, one on the 31st, one on June 15th. And with the $1,000 risk on each trade, right now, we've got a profit of over $6,300. And this trade in this cycle is still not over. My projection would take us to about an $8,000 reward. That's $8,000 in 28 days. The total portfolio return on this trading strategy, going back to August 10th, 2010, folks, it's 37% annually. And that is not including the current trade that we're in. You can't count it if you haven't booked it. Now, step 4, folks, is belief. It's all in front of you. I'm making the invisible visible. July 1st is right around the corner. It's time for you to get in on it. Now, the way the ultimate success formula works is this. Once you know your potential, you begin to take more massive action, which leads to even bigger results, which creates even stronger beliefs, which creates more potential. And the ultimate success cycle, folks, that's what creates your financial freedom. My passion here, my passion now, my passion always is to empower you and make the invisible visible. I began doing my radio show, The Trader's Edge, last November, and since then I have had many, many requests for private coaching and newsletter services, Twitter services. I receive wonderful emails from our listeners often, and all of them are so inspirational, to say the least. Let me read an excerpt from a recent one. It's from Will in Fort Myers. Starts off, Steve, thank you. I have to say, when I got in at midnight after 8 hours of passing meds to senior citizens, grandparents at a Fort Myers retirement community, I was kind of disappointed that Tom had a substitute. Big mistake. You were just the breath of inspirational fresh air that I needed. Found Tom about 4 years ago, worked in a hospital here, owned a garage door installation company in Winter Haven. When it was good, it was great. And then it wasn't. Closed the doors, laid off 11 people, and so on. Like I say, thank you. Your hour was like a breath of inspirational fresh air that I really, and I mean really, needed. I've listened to the segment 3 times now, and I'm really optimistic about tomorrow, the 15th. I guess I just need one thing in my life that works, and want to thank you for turning up the light, the white light, and helping me to focus. Folks, it's people like Will that have inspired me to kick off an entire set of services, and you're the first ones to hear about it tonight. My bundle of services includes the following. The first service is called Mastering Probability, the Trader's Edge. This is a daily service where I will incorporate all of my money management techniques, probability studies, results, and celestial charting correlations to bring you daily trading alerts. These alerts, sent via Twitter and or email, your preference, will notify you of trade setups that are ready for action. I will also deliver all of the supporting information to show you what's behind the trade. So this is the education part of what it is that I'll be doing. Now, this service will assist you with your money management formulas, your entry points, your stops, your exits, and your trailing stops while we're in the trade. Now, not only will you receive the daily trade alerts by subscribing to Mastering Probabilities, but you'll also become a subscriber of Celestial Charting. It's an $89 monthly subscription at no extra charge. Now, Celestial Charting is my new semi-monthly video webcast newsletter, which will actually, it's actually going to be just like this webinar, and it'll be interactive, you get questions, answers, and the such, and it's the first time that we've ever done anything like this. So it'll be video, it'll be educational, and I will correlate the historical impact of the celestial charts to the current trending markets, giving you quantifiable actions to help improve your trading in the upcoming weeks and months ahead. Now, this is a twice-a-month video newsletter that will specifically assess any lunar phases or any other important astro aspects and how to set up a trade. So, again, twice-a-month video newsletter. It'll be live, just like this webinar, and it'll be interactive questions and so forth. Now, in addition to that, because you've registered for this webinar, you're also eligible to receive 2 special offers, and and that's included in the Mastering Probability subscription. The first one is it's my money management webinar. Now, we only charge $149 for that, and that's going to be put on your members page for 30 days. But even though we only charge $149, this webinar, folks, will save you thousands and thousands of dollars. You need this webinar. You need to take this because this will protect your nest egg. Remember, at the beginning of the presentation, I said if there was one thing I wanted you to learn, well, go take the entire course, because now you get the whole kit and caboodle. And on top of that, you've got a 30-day, no question asked, money-back guarantee. So I'm putting it out there for you. Folks, there's no risk. It's great value, incredible education, a great daily trading newsletter, Twitter service. If ever there's an opportunity to practice one of the primary foundations of a great trading plan, an exceptional risk-reward, this is it. No risk with the potential of great rewards. So order today. What I want you to do is I want you to use the promo code CC 062211. CC for Celestial Charting in today's date, 06/22/11. And that will lock in the money management webinar for the next 30 days. Now, you need to do that before Friday midnight. And, folks, this is what I know for sure. It's in your moments of decision that shape your destiny. Every single person listening to this webinar should be signing up for this no-risk offer. Folks, I can change your life forever. One moment is all it takes to change your life. One insight, one conversation, one decision, one idea, one step. Take your next step with me. Click on the link on the email that was sent out during the webinar and sign up for this no-risk subscription. Look, thanks so much for your time. Just give me a moment to grab a drink of water, and then I'll get right to the questions. Again, thanks so much for your time.